Hello everyone, Jade here with Planet Destiny. Destiny has always been a game that prides itself on its sense of mystery. From secret quests to puzzles, we've seen considerable growth and evolution in the way that Bungie chooses to approach such mysteries, delighting the Destiny community at every turn. However, none are still more prevalent than the secrets of the Vault of Glass, and with its timely return to Destiny 2, it's the perfect opportunity to look back at the Guardian's first brave steps into the Vault, what was discovered deep within, and the dangers that still linger outside of the laws of time and space. In the true spirit of the Vex and the truest nature of the Vault, in order to describe its beginning, we must start with its end. But even that is not as linear as the passage of time that we know. The Grimoire card awarded for defeating Atheon times Conflux at the apex of the Vault of Glass tells us that it is impossible to say whether Atheon created the Vault or the Vault created Atheon. If physics is a set of rules that the cosmos uses to calculate itself, perhaps the Vex seek to worm their way into these calculations, to become a law of reality, inseparable from existence, a virus in the system. Perhaps Atheon was the centerpiece of this project, a command nexus that unified efforts across time. But we must accept that all of this is speculation. Such speculation quickly captured the minds and interests of the Guardians once they became aware of the existence of the Vex. As the dust from the Battle of Six Fronts settled and the wall was built beneath the Traveller, the City Age began. Saint 14 handed the role of Vanguard Commander to Osiris after seeing his prowess in battle, but such an action could have been the undoing of one ambitious fire team. Now, once upon a time, Osiris was nothing more than a voice over a comm line, an exiled guardian whose name was shrouded in doubt. But this Grimoire card, a letter addressed to him and bearing his name, was the first inkling we received as to why he was cast out from the ranks of the Guardians. It would be conjecture to state who exactly wrote this letter. There are those who believe, given the inclusion of it in the House of Wolves DLC, that it could have been the Speaker, but there's certain language that could suggest a person that Osiris was closer to, who he confided in other than Saint 14. Regardless, Osiris's beliefs having an influence on the masses is something that was explored in the Fall of Osiris comic series, but they failed to document that same effect on the Guardians that he governed. This Grimoire card fills in those blanks. Your quest split Guardians along ideological lines. This was your greatest crime. Hunters chose to pursue your visions instead of protecting refugees. Titans assembled teams to chase the legendary Vault of Glass instead of striking the Fallen, and Warlocks turned away from the study of the Traveller in favour of your ultimate obsession, learning the exact nature of the darkness. The Titan that is being referred to in this Grimoire card is the legendary Kabir, who no doubt watched the ways Osiris' theories turned into prophecies and concerned himself with the connection between the Vex and the darkness. To Kabir, to a Titan, destroying what was most likely perceived to be the Vex's stronghold was the surest course of action. Perhaps, in his own mind, the only way to prevent Osiris' prophecies from coming true. Kabir's three-man fire team consisted of the Hunter Pahanin and the Warlock Praedyth. There is once again speculation as to if the team entered the Vault of Glass with three others who were perhaps lost to time, erased and forgotten. This is the ultimate power of the Vex, especially within the Vault, as the Warlock Vanguard, Ikora Rey, once remarked that she thought the name Praedyth was nothing more than, quote, references in the margins of a text. However, whether there were others is something we cannot confirm. Pahanin, Kabir and Praedyth are the only names we have attached to that fateful first attempt to raid the Vault. Pahanin was the only one to survive, fleeing the Vault as his fire team was splintered. He created the exotic machine gun Supergood Advice in a desperate attempt to curb his fear of travelling alone, putting an AI within it that could talk to him. Slowly, the memories of Kabir and Praedyth faded from him, and later he was murdered by Dredge and Yor, and whatever remained of his fire team in his mind was truly lost. The fates of Kabir and Praedyth wouldn't be revealed until the Vault was successfully raided, perhaps decades later. Praedyth also attempted to flee the wrath of the Templar, but instead became lost in the Gorgon's labyrinth, succumbing to their gaze. Kabir gave the last of his light in the Templar's well to create the Aegis, a shield that would allow future Guardians to break the Templar and move further into the Vault. Then, influenced by the harmony of the oracles, Kabir drank from them, and his end had come. In a linear fashion, time passes, and soon, the Guardian that would come to be known as the Young Wolf and the hero of the Red War is revived in the Cosmodrome. The young wolf accomplished much within their first steps as a guardian, but their path towards the vault started, as you might expect, on Venus. With the discovery of the Vex, the exo-stranger encouraged the Guardian to aim their weapon at the Black Garden and the heart that resided within. Destroying the heart, she said with confidence, would allow the traveller to begin to heal. However, Venus was a treasure trove of Golden Age relics, in particular harbouring the remnants of the Ishtar Collective. At the behest of the Cryptarchs, the Guardian delved into the Ishtar Collective archives. Upon saving it from the Fallen who sought to strip its knowledge for themselves, the Guardian heard the first mention of the Vault of Glass. It appears that even in the Golden Age, the Ishtar Collective knew of its presence, and it's possible they knew more than even we do now. It's not until the Vex spilled onto the surface of Mars, at the same time the Guardian chased the entrance to the Black Garden, that Ikora Rey pieced together the connection between the two. After the Guardian shut down the Vex gates on Mars in order to create a manageable funnel of Vex activity, Ikora noted that, quote, "Of all the tactics we have to use against the Vex, shutting down their gates may be the most effective. You may have saved Freehold from being overrun. I sense a pattern here, a connection between this Vex outbreak, the Black Garden, and the Vault of Glass."
So, think you can kill a god?
Don't think I have a choice.
The destruction of the heart of the Black Garden weakened the Vex, and the entrance to the Vault of Glass was revealed. The waking ruins had hidden the door in plain sight, but the intrepid Guardian, the Slayer of the Black Heart, led a brave team of 6 down into the depths of the Vault of Glass. What they found defied the logic of time and space, a shield made from the light of a Guardian who gave his life to help others who may tread here, and the name and still echoing footsteps of another who fell to the Gorgons. It was no wonder then as to the disposition of Bahanin, why he ran and subsequently lost his mind. But these Guardians, swift from the victory of the Black Garden, chose to stand and fight, and with the defeat of Atheon, Time's Conflux, in the very heart of the vault, the Vex were dealt a massive blow. The power of the Vex and the untold capabilities of their relationship with time remained. The Guardians steadfastly accepted the call from the Reef when the House of Wolves broke their chains and ran rampant on Sol. Their Kell, Skolas, the prophesied Kell of Kells, was beaten again and again by the Guardian, with the help of the Queen's right hand Petrovenge and the House of Judgment scribe Varix. In desperation, Skolas descended into the Templar's well and attempted to tap into the power of the oracles, to make the House of Wolves as endless as the Vex. Though thwarted once more by the Guardian, Skolas was still able to pull his wolves through time, using Vex portals within one of their citadels on Venus. It was atop this citadel that Skolas was finally captured by the Guardian and handed to Queen Mara Sov to await his fate. This goes to show that even enemies of the Guardians know the inherent power of the Vex, that to wield it may be to wield time itself. The Fallen were not the only faction to attempt to gain such a power, as shortly after the Taken King Oryx fell within his own throne world, what remained of the Taken also desperately attacked the Vault. However, they underestimated the endless foresight of the Vex, and an important trick they had up their mechanical sleeves. Once more, I must mess with the proverbial timeline of this video and return to one of the original raiders of the Vault, Praedyth. When Praedyth fell to the Gorgons, he didn't necessarily die. Though his skeleton does lie within the vault, Praedyth both exists and doesn't exist, is alive and is also dead. To take some words from my fellow lore producer on this channel, Kaith, in an article he wrote on the Planet Destiny website, quote, "The Gorgons are said to have the ability to decide what is and what is not real, and anything within their gaze is subject to being erased within seconds. It goes beyond this, as the Gorgons seem to be able to look along an individual's timeline and selectively delete or move them from portions, past and future, as they wish. Praedyth became a myth to most, with only his guns and a few references to him within the Ishtar Collective serving as evidence of his existence. You can choose, if you wish, to think of Praedyth as being trapped in a section of time and space, controlled only by the Vex. With the Gorgon's immense power, as I said, he both exists and does not exist. His skeleton lies in the vault, but he is technically still alive somewhere. We'll talk about the Aspect Lawbook in a little bit to flesh this out and create a better understanding of Praedyth's fate, but for now, just note that Praedyth has been in the clutches of the Vex ever since he fell to the Gorgon's gaze. And so, with their kidnapped Guardian trapped in time, the Vex used Praedyth as bait to draw the Guardian near when the Taken descended on the Vault of Glass. They allowed his distress signal, laced in a Vanguard signature, to be sent beyond the vault, and Ikora Rey could not allow a Guardian in peril to be ignored. The gambit was successful, and the Guardian pushed the Taken back once more. Praedyth, however, the Vex kept for themselves. Still, traces of Praedyth within the vault lingered, and the Guardian was able to find a thread of him, something tangible to prove his existence beyond a shadow of a doubt: his ghost. Bringing the ghost, adorned in a future war cult shell to Lakshmi 2, sets the Guardian down the path to recover the Exo-Stranger's exotic rifle. No time to explain. The vault lied relatively quiet after being saved from the Taken. When the Guardian finally rose to the title of the Young Wolf, the Vex used technology from the Vault of Glass to upgrade the Nexus Mind on Venus, but such a threat was swiftly dealt with. When Gaul ensnared the Traveller and the Guardian gained another title after his defeat, the hero of the Red War, more discoveries on the nature of the Vault and the Vex were found on previously untreaded planets. Nessus was already undergoing transformation by the Vex, aiming to turn it into another one of their machine worlds by the time the young wolves set foot upon it. Confluxes around the dwarf planet when scanned by Ghost made mention of the Vault. On Io, a wayward Vex portal, broken upon the ground, still retained the faintest trace of a connection to the Vault. At this point in time, we can see that everything the Vex are, everything they touch, everything they create, always comes back to the Vault of Glass. Anything that is of the Vex is intrinsically of the Vault. The Black Garden is their birthplace, of course, but the Vault is something much more sinister, and there is one mysterious anomaly that proves the strength and everlasting nature of the Vault of Glass. A mysterious Taken portal that appeared on Io one day. The discovery of the portal begins with the reappearance of Anna Bray. In trying to find out more about her life before becoming a Guardian, Anna witnessed Hive frozen beneath the ice caps of Mars break through to the surface. Using the Clovis Bray facility on Mars as a base, Anna and the young wolf worked together to stop the Hive incursion at its root, the Hive worm god, Zol. But death does not faze the worm gods of the Hive, not even factoring as a setback. In fact, they crave it, and in dying, Zol, Will of the Thousands, was able to craft themselves into a deadly weapon, the acquisition of which lied beyond the Taken portal and passed an intense trial. Completion rewarded an exotic sniper rifle, the Whisper of the Worm. Such a trial included traversing the dangerous inner layers of Io, and racing against the clock would make it easy for any Guardian to miss a familiar Vex structure off in the distance. There are aspects of the Vault and the Vex that can't be explained linearly, and here is where I will do my best to collate those mysteries, starting with our Vex Gate within Io. Its shape, structure and nature are the same as one within the Vault of Glass. When traversing towards the final fight with Atheon, you can see it in the distance in the exact same way as when racing through the Whisper of the Worm mission. On Io, it's necessary to reach this portal in order to make the Whisper of the Worm more powerful by acquiring its catalyst. And when you reach it, the oracles only seen before within the Temporal as well appear, and you must follow their pattern much as you did in the Vault. And the connection is much more literal, as looking through the portal shows the other side of what lies in the Vault of Glass. Although there is no way to activate this portal and walk through it, it wouldn't be a stretch to conclude that if this portal were activated, it could be a passageway into the Vault and vice versa. Depending on the point of time, of course, as Io is currently an anomaly in Sol, much like Mars, Titan and Mercury. Furthermore, when acquiring the catalyst for the Vex Mythoclast in the returned version of the Vault of Glass raid, you must activate oracles around several platforms in the Vault and then make it to the Twin Portal. Looking through it shows Io, lending merit to the theory that if it were connected, we could potentially travel to and from an Io preserved in time. Perhaps the future war cult would be interested in such a revelation, as they have been known to use the Vault as an amplifier for their desperate attempts to predict the future. When traversing the Vault in search of Praedyth, it's possible to find many ghost fragments, 3 of which still hold memories of the war cult's experiments. These experiments boiled down to Lakshmi 2 allowing ghosts, guardians and faction members to pass through a portal, catalysed by the power of the Vault, and into the dangers of unknown time. The ghosts we find in the vault retain the images of the possibilities that they saw. The interpretation of these images is conjecture and ultimately up for debate. One ghost sees what is potentially the whirlwind that tore apart the Elixni homeworld, when the darkness found the Traveller and they were abandoned. One could be Europa and the Deepstone Crypt, bearing in mind that when this ghost was found within the vault, the location of the crypt was nothing more than speculation, a map in Cade 6's copy of Paradise Lost. The final ghost is perhaps the most worrisome. It describes the ghost tumbling through empty space until a fleet of ships, Guardian craft and City craft alike, quote, drop into reality from warp. These ships have varying symbols on them, and various tattered banners can be seen across the massive fleet. The vision describes ships that haven't been made yet, and symbols that at the time of the Taken King's defeat were unrecognisable. It could be speculated that these symbols and banners, next to the likes of New Monarchy and Dead Orbit, could be those of Drifter's twin snakes or Mithrax's House of Light, symbols that would be unrecognisable in the present that the ghost returned to. This glimpse into a potential future indicates the victory of the darkness, that humanity had to use all their resources to flee, the location of the Traveller unknown. Future war cults' thirst for knowledge of the future gives us a good indicator as to why Praedyth was a loyal member. As previously discussed, Praedyth's existence within the vault is a mystery unto itself. However, within the Aspect Lore book revealed to us during Season of the Undying are some more insights. Menial though they may be, we know from the brilliantly written lore book that Praedyth isn't just trapped by the Vex, but actively hallucinates. He's had this hallucination before. It's not that good as hallucinations go. Praedyth's radio is talking to him, voices rising out of the static. He wishes it'd at least use a familiar voice. A Bahanin, or Teiko, or Kabir. He'd even take a Mir at this point. He turns his head towards the radio. His cheek scrapes against granite. It hurts vaguely, the same way everything does, muffled by too much time and not enough light. You said that already, he tells the hallucination helpfully. It squawks. I did? When? Last time. Or the time before. Chronology is a lost art in this cell. Alert Spelunkers contact band 227.97 something something Skyshock potential. However, Praedyth ends up hearing the frequency of members of the Ishtar Collective through his radio, who were researching the Vault of Glass back during the Golden Age. Notably, Maya Sundaresh and her partner Chioma Essie, along with others who managed to communicate to other versions of themselves in different timelines through the power of the Vault, which this book touches on. The book is made up of multiple narrators, Praedyth being the most prominent, but it can also be argued that Kabir and the Winnower, the darkness itself, speaks during certain pages too. It's worth a read, but for the purposes of our discussion, it bears mentioning because we see Praedyth's torment within the vault and the capability of its power. Praedyth is trapped in a pocket of time, and even has begun to understand the rhythm of the vault. As said in the page Joseph, Praedyth is attuned to the rhythm of the vault. When another pulse lines up with that momentary weakness that lets his radio work, he pushes a message through. The question then is this: given everything we've learned of Praedyth, is he capable of being saved? Or is he doomed to an eternity within the vault, lightless, his only thread of communication potentially being those who would brave the area, and if the Vex would allow such communication? And at last, our final mystery brings us back to the beginning, to the return of the Vault of Glass. Kabir's Glass Aegis, a ship introduced during the Curse of Osiris, may have predicted the return of the Vault. Or at the very least, whoever is speaking in the lore card, conjecture to most, but most believably Kabir himself, tried to warn us. While joined, glass sky. Case past, return impossible. Grazing, rocked, major, distilled. Case present, return vestigial. Vault, Aegis, awakened, infinite. Case future, return, inevitable. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you've all been enjoying the return of the Vault of Glass in Destiny 2, getting in there and raiding and getting all of the loot drops that you want. Feel more than free to leave your thoughts on its return down in the comments below, and let us know what you thought of this video. Had you heard of all of the mysteries beforehand? Is there anything that was brand new to you? Do you think that there's a chance to save Praedyth? Do you have theories of your own? Please feel more than free to pop them down in the comments there below, and also be sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this, as well as guides and news and updates on everything in the world of Destiny. My name is Jade, otherwise known as Scarlet Rebel, and I hope you all have an absolutely amazing day. Bye bye.